First, there was Buggy's Bara no Mi. Next, there was Smoker's Mogu no Mi. And now, enter the man, the myth, the legend, Gem, or Gemu, and his great and esteemed devil fruit, the Bomu-Bomu no Mi, or the Bomb fruit. So today we're talking about Mr. Five's devil fruit, who was the fourth devil fruit ever introduced into the story, and now we're just going to be talking about him. This guy, what he can do, what his devil fruit might be able to do in the future if we ever see him again, which we probably won't, not gonna lie. But I don't know, it's just fun to go through this. Alright, so starting off with his basic abilities. So basically, the bomb fruit allows you to make anything into a bomb, and you have like even more evolved forms of this devil fruits like Gladius, who can basically like make everything swell and explode. But like the bomb fruit is focused on that like destructive power, of course, and he can make literally anything into a bomb, as we know. So the main thing that he does is make his mucus into a bomb. I don't know why, it's just his thing. Yeah, that's what he's like. I don't know why. Nobody knows why. He just likes to. Don't kink shame people. Alright, so basically what he can do with this is he was working for Baroque Works, right? So he came up and he was like attacking people, doing all that stuff, because he was working for Mr. Zero, getting the money, you know, and for some reason he just decided to go ahead and use his mucus to attack people because he got a devil fruit and was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do with it. And that's just what he's like. We haven't really seen him battle much because we've only seen him in like 2 main story arcs and then one other time that he was kind of there in Alabasta, you know. But other than that, we haven't really seen like anything from him. So this video might not make it to 10 minutes, but we'll see. We'll see. And basically what he can do with it is that not just like he can use his mucus, but he can blow up anything, any object, and he can kind of just do it on impact. He doesn't have to like specifically touch it with like his palm or any other part of his body. He can just do it and kind of just like think it as long as some part of his body is touching it, which is kind of a cool ability, but we haven't really seen like the extent of what it can do or like how far it can go. But the bombs don't really have that much of a range, probably something like 2 or 3 feet at most, or maybe like a meter, I guess. And besides that, he doesn't really have a limit on like how many times he can use it, which makes it kind of useful. But other than that, can't really do much if you kind of run out of things to kind of blow up, because he can't really blow up like larger things. Like he can't blow up an entire island or something, because that would be way too OP. But he can focus on like specific smaller objects, mainly things like mucus or just like burgers or anything else, because I don't know, that's just his thing, as I said before. Yeah, but besides that, he doesn't really have much else he can do with it. But I feel like some ways that he could use this devil fruit more effectively is he could find some kind of way that could be like his awakening or anything else, which could affect larger land masses and just make like the whole thing like a landmine. Or he could just choose to blow up larger areas, or there's like other OP things he could do, like he could like blow up like air or like gas or something like that, which would make him like way too OP. But it would help him to be way more powerful within the story, but not like we'll ever see him again, so what does it matter? And besides that, I guess he could also imbue Haki into his abilities, even though it would not really be very useful for someone that has a bomb-based ability. So maybe he could just like punch people with Haki and blow them up at the same time, which would, I don't know, be pretty useful for causing that extra bomb damage. So yeah, not really much else you can do there. And the way that he's used it so far is also pretty effective, because you can kind of like wait for it to blow up till it like impacts something. So he can like shoot off boogers and then it'll like attack people later, like as soon as it contacts them, which I guess could be pretty powerful. But then I don't know if you like make those boogers have Haki imbued in them so that they could like shoot into your opponent, because it would be more powerful, and then blow up. So like it would get like right inside there, not just like blow up in their face, you know. So that would be another way that his devil fruit could be used in like a much more effective way, including something like Haki. but then with awakening, that could get on a much bigger scale. So if you see like he could take like, I don't know, like a whole building, just like hockey it up, shoot it out somewhere, and then boom, maybe a whole town destroyed, you know. And his range could also like get larger, so the bombs could get larger. So instead of only being able to go like a meter, he could go 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters, 12 meters, 100 meters, and 100 meters, like, I don't know, 300 plus feet. So yeah, that's pretty effective. And besides that, his devil fruit doesn't really have much applications, but he bothered to even name some of his techniques after his boogers. I don't even know how this man has so many boogers. Like, it's really gonna run out at some point, and it's not like he can do much else. Like, I don't know, you can think of like Mr. 3, who can like set his little hair thing on fire for some reason, because that's just an quirky thing he can do. But Mr. 5 Gem, he doesn't really have much else going for him besides his boogers, and that's pretty much as deep as his character goes, because we don't really see much from the guy in terms of like him being like not a nice person or anything. He's more of like, as most of the other Baroque people are, they're kind of just hitmen that are kind of going after the job, trying to really defeat people, pound it in, you know. So besides that, he's not really even the nicest of guys. Not really many redeeming qualities, but yeah. And one more technique that he has is that he can kind of just like wrap around a whole person's body and then like just kind of hug them and then explode, which would be like pretty freaking effective. But the thing about him is that he doesn't really get affected by his bombs like most powers in anime that kind of just don't affect the user. And I don't know, that's kind of good for him. So if he blows someone up, he's kind of gonna be fine. I don't really know how we would imbue Haki or something like that in with it, but like if he combined it with like another power like Katakuri's, the Doflamingos, that like shapes the area, then maybe he could wrap like the area, they could wrap the area around somebody, and then he could just blow it up entirely. So like he could have other applications for that. So like if someone's in a building, he just blows up the whole building, which would, I don't know, probably mess them up at some point, especially if they're like on the 27th floor. If the building gets blown up, even if they're not dead, they might just fall to their deaths, you know. So there are other ways that this devil fruit could be used in more effective ways that he just kind of didn't really think of, because he's kind of limited to like what his body can do, because he kind of has to touch like whatever to make it explode in some way, shape, or form, no matter where it is on his body and how he does it, which is pretty like good, but he can't really like go really beyond that. So besides that, I don't really know how he could use it in an effective way. Maybe if he stopped just using his boogers, and maybe if he like, I don't know, used some kind of other fluid in his body, like he just peed on someone and then like exploded them. I don't know, that could be pretty useful. I'm just spitballing here, but I don't know, any other liquid, any other thing you could think of, like he could just cry, chuck some tears at somebody, blow them up that way. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for what his abilities could be. And so this did not make it to 10 minutes, but it's okay. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. And if you did like all that video YouTube stuff, then please do all that YouTube stuff, like liking, commenting, and subscribing and all that other things, because like I do videos every day and I'm not really getting rewarded for it. So it'd be nice if you could all come ahead and help me out here. And